Hello, it is 8 o'clock at night and about 1,000,000 degrees, but I guess this is what we're doing right now. First things first, I'm a little bit behind on videos. I'm trying to film stuff, get up to date with it. I just fell behind. I've been at work loads because I work in the tourist industry. The summer suddenly gets a lot more busy and I don't want to reveal the location that I work on the internet. But we had a very, very large event that took a lot of energy. So I've ended up a little bit behind on videos, but I will always upload the equivalent of a video a week, which means that I currently have 4 videos that I need to get out because that is how behind I am. So we're filming a quick chatty update on a video that I posted. I have it up here. When did I post it? About 3 months ago. And it is titled "So It Turns Out I Have Epilepsy," and I didn't know a lot at the time, so this is kind of a bit of an update. I think this is going to be quite a short one because I don't really have much to add to this, but I've just rewatched it to see what I knew at the time, giving you an update about what I know and how it's all going. I also thought I would add on the last video that I posted, the one where I words that I wore a outfits. That one. I left some absence seizures in there just because I thought people would be interested to see. So if you want to see a bit more about it in like real time, if you check out my last video, there's some of them in there. I left them in. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that all the time, but I thought that would be interesting to look at, maybe. So yeah, what do I know since then? So the last video that I left you guys on, I had the day before been diagnosed with epilepsy by an EEG that showed a whole bunch of activity, and the place that I was at the time was the weirdest part about all of this is that all of this is going on all of the time, and that I didn't know that my brain was doing all this stuff until I had that EEG. If that makes sense. I thought that there was some stuff going on, I didn't realise the extent of the stuff going on. So 3 months on, I've been in contact with multiple doctors at this point. I spoke to the neurologist twice on the phone, and initially it was just to discuss the results of the test. It took me a while to get through to them because my letters got lost. They have never showed up, don't know where they went. But essentially I was diagnosed with generalised primary idiopathic epilepsy. I don't know if all those words are in the right order, but it's not the order that's important. So we'll start with generalised. It is happening all over my brain. It's not just one area of my brain. Primary, I don't remember what primary means. I will Google that one in a second. Idiopathic means that there is no cause. There is nothing in my brain that might be causing it, as far as they know. Now, upon looking this up, there is a really strong genetic component to this. They said that most people who have it have a genetic link, but there is no diagnosed history of epilepsy in my family. But if my case should tell you anything, is that I wonder how many people are walking around there who just do not have any idea that that's what they have. Because my symptoms of it are so incredibly minor, and you know, it's just on an off chance that I happen to question it because of these absences every now and again. I kind of wasn't going to bother, so yeah, maybe there is a genetic component that we just don't know about, and there is some other theories about causes of epilepsy. One of the causes is to do with oxygen deprivation when you're born, and I won't really go into it on the internet, but my birth was quite a traumatic birth, so it may have been something in that caused the epilepsy. Who knows? I don't know what the procedures were like at the time. They're probably very different to the procedures now, so possibly something was missed, and that's what caused it. There also currently isn't a proven link between EDS and epilepsy, but that doesn't mean that there isn't a link because EDS is incredibly under-researched, so maybe there is a link there that we just don't know about yet. They also found out that I am photosensitive. This is never an issue that I thought I would have, but since being told that I am photosensitive, I have put some dots together and worked out some things that now make a lot more sense. This is basically what I've been doing over the past 3 months, is just thinking about things and being like, wait a second, I know why that happened. Yeah, the photosensitivity one kind of makes a lot of sense. I hate strobe lights, and I always just thought that I hated strobe lights. It turns out that most people don't feel like that when they see strobe lights. Most people just dislike them to a normal degree. I strongly dislike them. Have been like, you know, on the very rare occasion I go on a night out, which is like once a year maybe. I will go into certain places and be like, I need to leave. And I always just thought it was like an overstimulation thing, that they were just unpleasant. I was wrong about that. There was also the time I realised the other day, when I went on a roller coaster at Disney. It was like a Star Wars themed one. I can't remember what it was called, sorry, but big Star Wars themed roller coaster at Disney Disney World Paris. I don't know which is which. The one in Paris. Anyway, this roller coaster, I'm not a big fan of roller coasters anyway, but I went on it, just this one, and it was very fast and had very dark, it was all indoors, dark tunnel, very fast flashing lights. And I remember getting off this and not being, I was like, the roller coaster itself was fine, but why do people, like everybody else around me was like full of adrenaline, being like, heck yeah, that was great, and I was just like, I just feel ill, but not in like a roller coaster thrown around kind of way. I was like, I just couldn't move or breathe the entirety of the way around. I remember feeling like I couldn't take a breath in, like my whole body was paralysed, and just thinking, why does anyone enjoy this? Like, why is it? Turns out that is not the normal reaction. Things are starting to make more sense. The other thing was, I was put on medication. I was put on lamotrigine, which I think is the most common type of epilepsy medication. It's normally the one that they start you off with because apparently it has the least side effects. I am halfway through upping my dose, because if you've ever been in it before, you know it takes a long time to get to full dose. So I think, yeah, I'm currently halfway through. I'm on 4 tablets and I should be on 8 by the time I finish, which is just ridiculous, but fine, whatever. I think, yeah, I will go into that, but that, yeah, it's stupid. So that was going well, mostly. It was going well in the sense that I felt like I had a lot less brain fog. I wasn't necessarily getting more fatigued, less fatigued. Like, my body was still getting fatigued, but all of a sudden my brain wasn't. I felt like I had so much more capacity to, like, do things. Because most of the time when I get fatigued, it's like, I don't know, it feels like I have soup for brains. It's just brain fog, right? You soup brain, and body is not happy at me, but the worst part is the soup brain. And that, like, halved. Definitely didn't go away, but it, like, halved. It's not as good now as it was when I first started it. Like, I feel like those initial effects have worn off slightly, but I'm not at the full dose yet, so we'll see what happens. It also, when I first started doing, like, crazy things to my heart. My heart rate was getting super high, just randomly out of nowhere, and I was getting really dizzy, and it made me feel really unwell at first. That has slightly stopped, not completely, but I'm in the process of working that out as well. My doctors don't think it is related to the medication. I don't know if I agree, but they are the experts, so we're currently working that all out. So yeah, I think that's about it for the updates. Nothing really else to add. Still not allowed to drive, still have a bus pass. It turns out if you're on epilepsy medication you get free prescriptions, so I haven't sorted that out yet, but I will. But I think that's about it in terms of updates. If any of you guys have any questions about it, let me know down in the comments. I may not answer all of them because there is some medical things that I do not wish to go into on the internet, but questions are always welcome. I will just ignore them if I do not wish to answer them. So yeah, if you have any requests or questions, leave them down in the comments. New videos, the equivalent of every Wednesday, if not every Wednesday. Yeah, I will see you next week.